A thin mist rose from the darkness, spreading over the forest of shadows like a cloak. No one ventured into this forest easily, for according to legend, an ancient spell had awakened in its depths, testing both the heart and mind of any who entered. But tonight, someone stood at the edge of the forest, Elra, a 16-year-old girl with eyes like the night sky, her mind open enough to see what others could not. In Elra's hand was a small metal key that had been in her family for generations. An ancient symbol glowed on the key, the moon wheel. It was said that this symbol was only a legend. But today Elra had to learn the truth, because all the lights in her village had gone out in an instant. No fires burned, no lamps lit up, and no sunlight rose over the village in the morning. The village was plunged into darkness, and everyone believed that the key left to her by her family could awaken the lost lantern. Elra took a deep breath. With every step she took into the forest, the leaves trembled, and even when there was no wind, whispers came from the branches. "Go back," whispered a voice. "No," murmured Elra, "I will bring back the light of my village." After walking for a while, she found a small rusty camp bell on the ground. When she picked it up, the bell rang on its own, and the surrounding mist began to dissipate. As the mist cleared, a shadow fox appeared. The fox's eyes glowed like blue flames, and red sparks fell from its tail. "What are you doing here, human?" said the fox. Elra wasn't surprised, because he didn't expect anything in the forest to be ordinary. "I'm going to the lantern to bring back the village's light." The shadow fox tilted its head. "No one can cross the path to the lantern alone." "I will," said Elra. The fox chuckled. "Are you brave or just foolish?" And then the fox walked toward her. "I'm Ruby. It might be fun to watch you along the way. I might even help you." Elra was surprised but agreed, because the danger of being alone in the forest was great. As they walked through the twin forest, the trees parted to either side, and the sky turned pitch black. Only the moonlight faintly illuminated the moss on the ground. After a while, the bark of the trees began to tremble, and the trees spoke. "Where did you find this key, human?" asked one tree. Elra showed them the key. "It's my family heirloom." The trees sighed sadly. "This key is to unlock the lantern, but the being that guards the lantern is no longer asleep." Elra shuddered. "Who woke it?" One of the trees rustled painfully. "The Master of Shadows. He's trying to seize the light." Ruby bared her teeth. "Then we must hurry." The trees spoke one last time. "Before you go to the heart of the forest, you must pass through the true door. Are you ready to face yourself?" Elra swallowed. "I'm ready." The door stood among the ruins of an ancient temple. It bore the same symbol as the one on Elra's key. When she opened the door, there was only a dark room inside. Ruby stayed outside the door. "This is your test," said the fox. When Elra stepped inside, the room filled with light. A silhouette emerged from the light. This silhouette was Elra herself, but this Elra carried her darkest thoughts. "You will fail," said the dark Elra. "You will not save your village. You will not make it out of the forest alive." The real Elra closed her eyes. "I am afraid, but I walk despite my fear." The dark Elra smiled. "You have accepted your fear. Only those who recognize their fear can pass through this door." And the silhouette turned into light and merged into Elra. The walls of the door cracked and lit up, opening the way. Ruby entered. "So, This was the test you had to pass. Not bad, human.
A massive temple rose up in the heart of the forest. It was sky high, its columns carved from dark stone. The lantern hung right in the center of the temple, but around the lantern was a creature made of darkness, the master of shadows. "Ah, little human," said the creature, "you have the key, but the lantern is mine." Despite her fear, Elra stepped forward. "I want my village's light back." The Master of Shadows laughed. "Light has no value without darkness, but I don't want balance. I only want darkness." Ruby suddenly attacked, but waves of darkness threw the fox against the wall. Elra ran and reached for the lantern. The creature shouted, "You cannot pass through the darkness." Elra placed the key into the lantern's socket. Suddenly, the lantern glowed, but not with a normal light. Golden, blue, white, and green tones intertwined. Light waves passed through the Master of Shadows, and the creature dissolved with a scream. Ruby struggled to her feet. "You did it! Human!" When Elra took the lantern in her hand, the temple began to crumble. Ruby picked her up, and the pair ran out of the forest. The lantern's light spread to every corner of the forest. Shadow creatures transformed into beings of light. The trees regained their former splendor. The sun rose over the forest for the first time in years. When they returned to the village, the people were astonished. The lamps lit themselves, the darkness dispersed, and everyone began to call Elra the Guardian of Light. Elra smiled. "I just did what was right." Ruby wagged her tail. "And it's not over yet. There are still many secrets to discover in this forest, human." Elra looked up at the sky. She felt a new adventure beginning.